Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody out there, YouTube land. This is Moz coming to you with another episode of Moz's Toy Box. This episode, of course, is the top 5. Now, you've probably seen a lot of top 5, top 10, top 12, top whatever 2023 videos. This one is a little different. This one isn't a top 5 or top 10 or top 12 of new things. This is the top 5 of new things to me. So with that in mind, this is the top 5 1/6 scale figures that I got in 2023. That's right, guys. That's all it is. The top 5 that I got in 2023. So with that in mind, let's get to it. All right, for the number 5 entry in the top 5 of 2023, we have the Mark III Iron Man version 2.0. This is a solid entry from Hot Toys, very weighty, die cast, just beefy, chunky boy, man. He is an excellent figure. This guy has got so much shelf presence. He's got light up features. He's got just so much going on here. This guy, if you pan down here, he's just, everything is just sparkling, shining, and then you get that ironmonger base. It's a little tricky to assemble, but it is beautiful. The presence on the shelf is amazing. So this is my number 5 in the top 5 of 2023. All right, our number 4 pick in the countdown for the best figures of 2023, 1/6 scale. That is going to be the Hot Toys Moonight. This figure was just completely off my radar. I didn't pre-order it. I initially didn't have any idea that I wanted to have this figure. It was just something that I enjoyed the show, but it was a figure I just didn't feel I needed because I'm not trying to buy a lot of comic book characters. I'm trying to buy figures that really call out to me. But, even though the show didn't quite make it as far as like, I need that figure. Once I saw in-hand pictures of this figure, I had to have it. And I didn't even make that choice until it was already waitlisted on Sideshow. But thankfully, my local comic book shop had one in stock, and I picked him up. This guy is just beautiful. He's got light up eyes, which work out really well. His head sculpt just sits right on this light up feature. So you just pull up the head, turn on the light, and put the head right back on. It's very seamless as far as that goes. The cape is fully wired. It poses so well. I was not expecting this. One of the other big problems that I've always had with wired capes is that they don't necessarily lay down properly. You just want to have them drape. They have a huge problem with that typically. But this one actually drapes very well. I'm not saying it's a perfect drape, but it drapes very well for wired cape. He comes with this unusual hand. This hand here is amazing. It can hold like all of his throwing apparatus, these little crescent moons. It can hold one in between each finger, which I would love for a Batman to have that for his batarangs, particularly, for example, my Frank Miller's Dark Knight Batman custom piece. In fact, now that I'm thinking more about it, I may look and see if I can find another set of these hands and paint them so that I have a hand that could hold his batarangs. The one drawback why it's not all the way at the top of the list is because when you're posing him with any kind of wide battle stance or whatnot, his feet have a hard time staying on, much like some of the Hot Toys Stormtroopers and Clone Troopers. So I did have some issues with that when I was posing him. His pants are a little restrictive because it's a thicker material, so it does sometimes limit what I can do as far as the leg posing. But with that being said, this figure was just a complete shock to me. It was a pleasant surprise. I'm glad I bought him, and I really need to take more pictures of him. All right, number 3 in the countdown for the best 1/6 scale figures in 2023, CAD Bane. That's right, the Hot Toys CAD Bane from the Book of Boba Fett. This guy has it all. He even comes with Toto. And look at this little Toto, man. He is just the coolest little droid. There are a couple of things that they could have done better on this one, which is why it's not any further up in the top 5. They could have given you some light up features for his eyes. That would have been great for Toto. And also, if you were able to have him look up while facing forward. But if you look up this figure, man, this guy has got awesome details. Everything just immaculate in here. The holsters, I wish they were leather, but they are faux leather. So you do need to be sure to take care of that by using what I like to use, and that is the Angelus matte acrylic finisher. That stuff is amazing. I put a coat of that on there, and it's good for a good while. It's going to make it last a good long while. Of course, you may need to retouch that occasionally. This coat on this guy, the detail is amazing. The stitching is nice and fine. It doesn't have a wire in the coat, so that's a tick against it. As you see, he's got his toothpick. That is a toothpick that I made for him. He doesn't actually come with the toothpick because he doesn't get shown with a toothpick during the episode. So, Hot Toys, you kind of missed it there. You could have done a little homework and been like, you know what? He usually has this toothpick thing associated with him. We should give him a toothpick. That's okay. What I did is I took a real toothpick and I whittled it down to make it more 1/6, and it looks fine, in my opinion. I could steal one from Crosshairs. He's got 2, but I'd rather not lose an expensive toothpick prop. But damn, the face sculpts on this guy are amazing. His teeth, menacing. It's a spitting image, really, of the animated show, Clone Wars and Rebels. The blue is a little lighter than the animated, but I think it works for live action. This guy is just, if you didn't pick him up, I really feel bad, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. This is just a piece I feel that is necessary in any Star Wars fan's collection. That being said, there's a lot of key pieces I chose not to have, so collect what you like. Anyway, guys, this CAD Bane, this guy is amazing. I hope that you agree that he has made it to the top 5 of 2023. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2 on the top 5 of 2023 1/6 scale figures is the Alien Big Chap. This piece was originally put out in 2009 for the Alien 30th anniversary event. This is the first and only time Hot Toys has made an Alien Big Chap. We got an Ellen Ripley in 2016. We thought maybe we would get a revisited version of this. I mean, it was already 7 years old by this point. But no, the Alien Big Chap has not been re-released since. And let me tell you, this is a hard piece to find in great shape. I was fortunate to find one, and the first thing I did was I put Shinichi grease on it. This grease is going to help keep that rubber body sealed in and moist, so it'd keep the body from rotting and breaking apart over time. With that being said, this figure, as I mentioned, is beautiful. It doesn't have a lot of range of motion. It barely can move its arms out from its side or its legs apart or straight up and back, but its shelf presence is amazing and a must-have piece. I am so happy to finally have this grail in my collection. All right, we're on to the number 1 pick of 2023. This is a piece that I picked up this past year, and it is a grail. It is not necessarily the most articulating piece or the most, just overall posable piece, but its shelf presence is bar none amazing. And once we get a complementary piece to it, it's going to be even more so. That is Aliens power loader. Now, this figure, of course, was shipped with a Ripley. That Ripley is long overdue for a rehaul. So, with that in mind, I do have a third-party Ripley coming. It's on pre-order, and hopefully that one will look amazing in the power loader. This power loader is just, God, it's got so much presence. Let's get into the number one pickup of 2023, the Hot Toys Power Loader. All right, we are down to the number one pick. This is the Hot Toys Power Loader. Now, this came with an Ellen Ripley, but that Ellen Ripley is just so outdated that I didn't even take her out of the box. She's just still in the box. She's a model and not a figure, and that means that I'm just not going to deal with her. Now, that being said, when I do get my replacement Ripley, my third-party Ripley, I may need some parts from her, and I will revisit that then. But this power loader, I tell you, its shelf presence is bar none. This thing was produced and released in 2008, and this makes it one of the older Hot Toys that I own. Now, Hot Toys did tease in 2017 that they might revisit this figure with a new Ripley and a new power loader, but that apparently is not going to happen. It looks to me as if perhaps they lost the right to the Aliens franchise, or at least that movie. Unfortunately, it doesn't look as if we will get that power loader at this time. Now, with Romulus coming out, who knows? I can't say for sure, but I wasn't going to gamble it. I had to get this guy. Now, if you notice with the lights, they aren't really that bright. That's kind of a bummer. Perhaps I can find a way to get a new light in there, but otherwise, it does all it's supposed to do. It's articulated. You can move the arms up and down, a little bit to the sides, not a whole lot. You can twist and close and open the grasping hands on it. The flamethrower can be moved and taken off. This is just amazing. This piece is amazing. I'm glad to finally have it in my collection. And with that, guys, what do you guys think of this top 5? And leave a comment down below of what your top 5 is. All right, guys, that was the top 5 of 2023. This is my Hot Toys 1/6 scale figures of 2023 that I picked up this past year. This is what I consider to be my top pickups. There are other ones that I got, but they didn't quite make the list. Some honorable mentions. In-Art Joker, as amazing as that looks, it doesn't handle itself as well as it should, being the price that it came in at. So it didn't make the top 5. It is beautiful, but if it can't stand reliably on its own without the use of a third-party base, then, that's a huge ding. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this content, please hit that like button and also subscribe so you don't miss any more content that's coming out on this channel. All right, guys, don't forget, every Tuesday, please join us for Toy Photography Talk. Every week, we go over your submitted photos to help you find areas in which you can excel in your toy photography. Also, don't forget that I have custom t-shirts available if you follow my link tree in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great 2024.